How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Scarlet, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. We've got some Pokemon rumors to take a look at for Scarlet and Violet. Let's get started. If I do sound a bit weird, I do have a bunch of mouth sores in my mouth, so I do apologize about that. But either way, we recently got a few new riddles here from the Riddler. He came out and said Titan V and then some Japanese text. And we've been trying to figure out what it means. Basically, people were able to bring down the information and figure out that it was basically the name of the actual manga called Crows. And if you do not know who these people are, the Riddler is a real leaker who's given real information. Soul Silver here, who's posting about this, is a kind of a leak analyzer, one of our boys, one of our friends. And basically, they figured out that what he was hinting at here is that Titan, which is the code name for these games, and then the V, right, like that here, specifically they're referring to the villain team. V for villain, and then the name with the crows matches with this show, or this manga, that's literally about delinquents, right? Specifically, like, delinquents in Japanese schools, which are usually, like, depicted in this way. They have these specific kind of, like, biker outfits and uniforms and stuff. And what they, we kind of went through here yesterday in a previous video about all this, but the recent development, a pretty cool development, is this right here, which is actually from Zepto here, who said, though, given that the game, them having the school and racing theme, it would probably be school delinquents riding motorbikes. He says, my goodness, it's true. There might even be a biker gang of delinquents. Maybe a new kind of villainous Pokemon having to do with motorbikes other than the legendaries will be their mascot. I think that's highly possible. And even down here is a theory by Eduardo who says motocross equals riding / racing theme, crossing the gates of time, like an arrow of time crossing the hyper super face of the present in a light cone. There's a lot of connections to crosses. So he says Team Cross is actually another really solid guess on the team name. Moto Cross add up too well with a biker gang. Mad props to Nintendo Kasuo for this one. But yeah, just a bit of an interesting small one. Just a bit of an update from yesterday's one. We do have some larger ones to take a look at, though. Of course, there is a big piece of information, which is that it's been exactly now 3 years ago since the third Pokemon Sword and Shield trailer dropped, and we still haven't received the third trailer for Scarlet and Violet, which we do not know when it's going to happen anymore. Is it going to be next week? Most likely. But honestly, we've been saying most likely every week so far. So honestly, at this point, anything is possible. Anything could happen. But, yeah, we're just kind of waiting, mate. We're just kind of waiting. There's not really any confirmation on any of this. We're just kind of just chilling, waiting, and seeing what's going to happen. By the way, let's continue on, which is a big riddle here. So, the Riddler says the following, which is, Nemona seems to be a perfect character from the story of Titan. Again, Titan, the Scarlet and Violet code name. She basically is a goddess, both tender and powerful. And then we see here, goddess in Roman antiquity. We've got different ones. Dea is the Latin word for goddess and may refer to Bona Dea, Dea Dia, Nenia Dea, Dea Matrona, Dea Sequana, and then multiple different ones. So basically, here's what he says. I've been following if you've been following my theories, you know that I've been fixated on the third legendary and the gimmick, and Nemona's critical role in this. Ku just furthered this by calling her a goddess. I believe there is a more to that than a compliment. I think she's a literal goddess or related to the third legendary that is also some kind of god. As I speculated, maybe she actually plays a part in quelling the third legendaries and rage against the region. Her being tender and powerful really makes me think that the third legendary will have a fairy typing as one of its types, and probably has 3 types in total. And even here you guys can see an old post that came from Eclipse where he said, Heaven, Light, Origin, and then Praise the Sun. And Eclipse is also a kind of a Riddler. He told me himself today, Eclipse specifically, he told me that, hey, I'm not a leaker. I'm just a guy sharing information that I receive from, like, some inside sources, and that's about it. And sometimes he has different sources. Some sources, he told me, give him correct info. Some can end up, like, having wrong info, or he tries to piece together all the information he receives from multiple sources to figure out what is real and what is not. So basically, he might have multiple people that he's talking to, and then he takes piece by piece from each one of them and matches it all together to see, oh, this matches with this, but this doesn't match with this. So, as a way to kind of, like, error out, like, all the stuff that isn't real and whatnot. But basically, he's been hinting at the idea of, like kind of a sun legendary, something around the sunlight and light and something like that. And then he continues on and says, so it's basically fairy type gets one of its types, or this third legendary will have 2 forms or heads, one that is tender and peaceful and one that is enraged and powerful. All of these threads I've attached explain all of this and more, and I definitely recommend you reading them. Nemona will probably be a savior, more a savior than villain, in my opinion. Lastly, of course, is the connection to light, and specifically the sun. She could end up being some type of light or sun goddess. She's nobody at first, but in the end, she'll be revealed to be somebody very important, which we talked about her connection and the fact that, like, you know, you have the two legendaries and there's a split in the middle between them, right? And if you pay attention, okay, they are both facing the horizon. They're facing the sun on opposite ends here. Literally facing the sun on their opposite ends, okay? Down the middle would be, so one is facing literally the future, one is facing the past. We need something for the present right here in the middle, right? And these two are on opposite ends of the light spectrum. Ultraviolet, infrared, right? But technically they're supposed to be reversed in position here, but it doesn't matter. Just flip the camera and you get what I mean. But my point is that in the middle of that light spectrum is the color green. Nemona has a piece of green coming out of her head. There's a lot of, like, weird connections that can be found there. But either way, continue. In reality, the third legendary could even end up being her servant or angel that rebels, and then we have to help her discover who she is and quell it. Obviously, she doesn't know her true identity. I believe this will all have a deep roots in the literal region in their deity and culture. I must stress that the Riddler said basically a goddess, so maybe she's not exactly the goddess, but something related to a goddess is happening, in my opinion. Here's some more thoughts that I believe are very on point, and also great conversations with June. June here said the following, which is, how would they present a human goddess in the world of Pokemon? Very hard to say, but she's got to have something to do with it. Maybe she's a fake goddess. The first android shows she's a goddess, or she's just blessed by the goddess, something like this. And he says, I was actually thinking about that because Detroit Become Human is about androids. Now, what are we talking about androids here? Well, actually, the Riddler did put out a tweet saying that something similar to Detroit Become Human, which is a PlayStation 4 game that came out, that there will be something similar to that in these games. Which we're going to get into in a second. But basically, there's also down here an ID from specifically Antonio here says, hi again, I just read your thread about Nemona. What if she's something similar to the soul of the third legendary, trying to live her own life? Linking that to the Detroit Become Human. That would be interesting to see. And again, it all comes back to this idea of, like, you know, I guess kind of like, you know, like how what the Riddler's been tweeting out, which was the idea of there being like a sort of like connection to Detroit Become Human, which is random to say the least. But we continue on though, which is this next thing right here. So two things. I love that all of them have other kinds of occupations. And by the way, he specifically here is talking about GLE4 of Titan all have occupations, and GLE4, which is gym leaders, and Elite 4 of Titan, which is Scarlet and Violet, all have occupations. So they all have some kind of job or something they're doing in these games. He says, you know, all of them are different, makes the world feel real and gives them personality. It may even be mean more than we know. I think the common highlights will be throughout the region, highlight reels of events and your battles due to the racing F1 theme. He says, by the way, highlights are common in Titan, so that's going to be interesting as well. Either way, I still think the spiderweb symbol in the first trailer is a bug-type gym leader. Gotta thank Uridin for this next bit. This may be a follow-up tweet to the small trick he mentioned in his listing genders tweet. It may have actually been this Takarazuka E4. If not, he's describing his favorite E4. And here we're specifically talking about this post from Pokestami, who says that Takarazuka is a female musical performance originating from Hyogo, Japan. Women play all roles, including male roles. So basically, we may see some, like, I guess, characters that might be inspired by this concept. So that basically, when he put out this long tweet with male, 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 female, 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 male, male, female, 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 maybe they're trying to do a twistorino that some of those male characters would actually be portrayed by female characters rather, or actually they are female, or, you know, whatever, like, way you want to look at it. Something along those lines, similar to what they're talking about with the Takarazuka specifically. And then also there was a tweet from that he put out about, of course, Detroit Become Human. He said you would see similar stuff in Titan. Again, Detroit Become Human is literally about androids living in our own world, like robots living in our world alongside us, being a part of our society, and that people look at them differently and treat them differently than the rest. And here's what he says. Basically, the plot follows 3 androids. Kara Valerie Curry, who escapes her owner to explore her newfound sentience and protect a young girl. Connor Brian Deckard, whose job is to hunt down sentient androids. And Marcus Jesse Williams, who devotes himself to releasing other androids from servitude. And basically, Detroit Become Human Character Month, so this probably means there will be a android and robot humans and Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet. Holy shit, so this pretty much confirms the idea we've been talking about, more or less, that there will be some kind of robot Pokemon. Maybe even Nemona is one, but doesn't know it. Big Blade Runner vibes, or seeing similar stuff in Titan, could be related to our fakes, as in seeing robot and fake Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet. So yeah, robot fakes rather than regional fakes, right? Literally could be robot fakes. Either way, side note, This tweet is almost definitely about like a robot gym leader, but the implication could mean that there are Pokemon like this too. Though, I still think that our fakes are more organic, so maybe the android aspect is more related to the potential future forms of certain Pokemon. Alternatively, and honestly, more likely, since this is a character month, Highlight is probably actually referring to the hair. Highlight is more of the character than just Nemona. It makes a lot of sense, and this is basically the rainbow region. All important characters will fit with the theme of rainbows and colors and all that. So, what do you guys think about that? I don't know. Your thoughts and opinions would be appreciated on this as well, lads. Again, share what you got in the comments down below. Next is this post right here, which was the following, which was Titan R, and then BWXY, Sword and Shield, or SWSH, and then FFM. And basically, he says, all right, fam, spoilers. R equals rival. FFM equals female, female, male. So there are 3 rivals. All the gens he mentioned have multiple rivals. So yeah, black and white, multiple rivals. X and Y, multiple rivals. Sword and, Sword and Shield. Sword and Shield. Yeah, you do have 3 rivals. Marnie, Beatty, and Hop, right? And it says basically that we're getting at least 3. So 2 female and 1 male rival. I think he's also telling us which counterpart rivals they have from previous generations. Interesting. Okay. He says, 1 is XY. Depending on your gender, it'll be the opposite unused protagonist. He probably chose male, so the rival is female for him. Or maybe it's one of the lesser XY rivals. 1 is probably one of the lesser Sword and Shield rivals, probably Beatty, the male, or maybe a bigger one like Hop. Then there's Nemona, female, who's either N or Bianca, and Nemona is a special character. I believe she's pivotal to the plot, so I'm going to do a separate tweet on her. But we have speculated she's older and feels similar to like the character of N, right? So I think that's her black and white counterpart. Basically, Nemona is the pivotal to the plot, the female/opposite gender Pokemon, probably your friendly rival, peer, and classmate, and the male one, probably an antagonistic rival, maybe even part of the evil team and delinquent gang. So yeah, seems like that's kind of like tracking along with what they tend to do and fits with like the direction of this. So alternatively, Nemona is not a rival, and it's more of an N character, and there's just another female rival more akin to Bianca or Marnie. However, that would open up a possibility to mix and match, so this is probably not likely. Also, according to Pokemon FM here, Nemona does not seem to have a starter Pokemon. Her first Pokemon seems to be Palmy, which means we'll probably have 2 other rivals. And yeah, I love that we call it though, and the more I think about it, the more I don't think she's a rival at all. We'll see. But yeah, what do you guys think about that as well? I do think it's interesting. So basically, 1 female/male, depending on what gender you choose, and then also a regular male character that, let's be honest, probably is going to be part of the evil team. You know, like a la, I don't know, what's his name? The kind of rival I guess you have in Sun and Moon. But anyway, Lily's brother. I cannot remember his name for the love of God. Sorry, it's like midnight almost. Either way, lots to still break down from the Riddler. But on the off chance it's about to be revealed, I want to clear up that let's see. What I think he means that if he added vowels, we would know that this is the region name. Not that it's a word, but we could easily recognize. I know we're so close to cracking it, but basically, if I add vowels, you would know what I mean, but I won't, lol. And then PDY. And he says, important to note, PDY is probably the Chinese name of the Scarlet and Violet region. Then we have to translate it to Japanese, and then when you sound out the Japanese word, we'll hear the English name. So once we add the vowels, it will only sound like the English name. It will only sound like an English name, not literally spell it out. So yeah, basically, if we add the letters, it will match up with what it's supposed to sound like. And I'm gonna be honest. This is quite interesting. I will reveal in the future for you guys something. If everything turns out correct, I do have some interesting information to share down the line. But we'll see how that actually pans out. But there is some interesting information about specifically this specific subject, if I may say so myself. Yeah, I think, yeah, this one. Let me just say, guys, come back to this video in the future. Just come back to this video in the future. And I'm going to just say... AED, and there you go. Either way, let's continue. So my thoughts on this, if it's real, and it's just about a post from Eclipse, but here's what it says basically. My thoughts on this. If it's real, I think these are all meant to be one new Pokemon. New Pokemon 2. Notice the flying rose girl in the bottom right. I'd say this is some kind of flower rose Pokemon that might ultimately become a dragon. It's probably the whole line. Let's see what happens. And then, you guys can see this whole ID here. Now, this is a character specifically from one of the Yu-Gi-Oh shows. And then, of course, we have these, like, I don't really know what these guys are, like nymphs or whatever. But yeah, basically... this is the idea of the like being a brand new Pokemon, kind of I guess a feminine one, a waifu type Pokemon as the Riddler describes it. That's going to be kind of like a flower girl, so to say. But this again from Eclipse. But yeah, again, Eclipse has been correct, but also incorrect in the past. So you have to take everything he says with a pinch of, actually a mountain of salt, let's be honest. But yeah, we continue on to the next thing though, which you guys may remember that we were talking about these the other day. Of course, I call these to most likely be fake, just because the backgrounds were too off, man. But yeah, we pretty much have confirmations. Even Blaine's came out and pretty much confirmed that they were fake, showing off some of the, you know, like the actual 3D models or whoever made them. Like, I think it was, what's his name again? Yeah, Beard Doodle. Shout out to this guy, by the way. Mad props, actually. I'm going to give him a follow. I mean, hey, man made some cool fake leaks. But yeah, basically it came out and revealed that it wasn't real. So yeah, that's that. Let's move on to the next thing, which is from Pokemon Leaks on Twitter. Now, I don't really, like, have much to say about Pokemon Leaks because they tend to tweet out a lot of stuff that's very obviously fake. But they did have an interesting post here. Apparently, this is from 4chan. And here's kind of what somebody on 4chan says, that these following icons here, these are from the logo of Scarlet and Violet, by the way. And here's basically what he says. Legendary Pokemon abilities leak. So, this first ability is the ability to use the gimmick of the game, apparently. The next ability is being able to time travel at will, which I guess will kind of make sense with the time dial thing. The 4 dots ability allows you to do multiplayer, and then, or use a legendary with other people. Then the final ability is just to ride it around, which, I don't know, man. That seems a bit too easy. With all the weird stuff that's going on, is it just me, or does that seem a little too easy? I don't know. It just seems a little too easy. It seems a little too easy, but hey, your guys' thoughts and opinions will be appreciated. But yeah, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. And then there's also this quick thing I want to mention, which is that there is a new Korokoro leak. Unfortunately, nothing for Scarlet and Violet, which is really depressing. But there is information if you guys are into the anime. It's specifically about, I guess, what teams will be used by the different, you know, the final, you know, like in the finals now. The final 8, I guess. You can see what like Pokemon they'll be using over here. I think that's Lance's team. I'm not sure who's going. I don't remember who he's going up against though. But either way, you guys can see right there. I think this Iris's team here with Haxorus against, I'm gonna guess, is Cynthia down there. And then on this other end you have, well, I'm guessing Ash against Steven most likely. But yeah, so there you go. So a bit of just a leak on their teams has come out, and the 4chan, like I guess a Korokoro post about it. So there you go, if you didn't already know. I'm pretty sure most of the guys who watch the anime already knew that. Then there's also this little interesting breakdown here that apparently Meryl, as far as I can tell, is actually, its name origin, a shade of blue, is actually, you know, from, in this case, comes from the Portuguese for blue, which is azul. And, you know, that's where Azumarill comes from. And, yeah, this all connects again to the whole Portuguese ID. So is it possible that we might see actually like Meryl of all Pokemon getting some love with a brand new form? I will be all for it, dude. I love Meryl. It's one of my favorite Pokemon. I think it's sick. So why not give it some extra love, dude? Plus, give Marilyn some love. Give Marilyn some love, my guy. Come on, you gotta give some love to the OGs, right? Either way, move on to the next thing, which is from Light Gacha over on Twitter, who has his own kind of speculation on what RF might mean, which is what we've been talking about. He says RF probably means robot fake. Who said on purpose a riveting new RF on the past pool, not meaning fascinating, meaning a rivet. Robots are mechanical. Today he introduced that Titan will have in common with the game Detroit Becomes Human. And he says, also, he confirmed that R-Fake is a new concept. What if the Pokemon are forced to kind of evolve or change the appearance with this new concept? Maybe in Scarlet and Violet there is some kind of story like AZ's, who made the weapon to revive Floette, and then for revenge he used it to, well, basically yoink everyone else. Megastones are believed to be nothing more than evolutionary stones that were irradiated by the light fired by the ultimate weapon of AZ. You'll probably have some armored Pokemon or some kind of mechanical feature, future, past, tradition, innovation. We're near, guys. But what do you guys think about this? Is this the connection? Is it not? Your thoughts would be appreciated. And then also, for PDY, he says, Padai. Game Freak gave the name of Galar, a town in Spain, to, you know, to the 8th generation, I guess. Padai could be potentially the new name of the new region in Scarlet and Violet, according to Padai history, origin from England. Plus, it has 5 letters as almost all regions, Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, and Unova. Well, I don't know about that, mate. But, again, guys' thoughts and opinions we appreciate on this, guys. What do you all think about this? Let me know in the comment section down below. There's quite a lot of stuff to go through in this one, I'm not going to lie. It's quite a lot of information. But again, you guys' thoughts and opinions would be appreciated, because there is so much that we had to go through here in this video. And I want to thank you all for watching. I want to thank you all for the support. Also, guys, I want to just point out that we do have a new video out on our other channel on Ruffled Rowlet Plays. If you guys want to go over there and check it out, we do have that out. I'm going to show you guys here just really quickly on the screen. That over there. So here you guys go. Ruffled Rowlet Plays. It's our other channel where we do Pokemon, content as well. And we have our most recent video here, 100 Days as a Magma Grunt in my own Pokemon game. If you guys want to go check that out, please do. The video was dropped like a day ago now. And yeah, just want to get some love and support on it. If you guys wouldn't mind, it'd be really appreciated. But that's going to be pretty much it for the video, guys. If you did enjoy it, of course, as I said, do drop a like down below. Make sure to subscribe. And we will be seeing you all in the next one. Peace out and bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.